I was really hoping I had found a gem when I bought this camera online, but sometimes you don't even get what you pay for. Let's take a look. Alright, so I'm not even going to be doing an unboxing of this camera because my recommendation to you is that you should not buy it. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work on Miniquads. The problem that I was having is that the camera would record perfectly fine off the Miniquad, but the second that I armed my quad and the motors began spinning, the camera would stop working correctly. It would freeze frames and the video would become unusable. This continued on for the entire time that I flew my quad and stopped as soon as I disarmed the quad. So clearly there's a problem with the camera and the electrical noise that's generated by the motors, and it really is unfortunate for this camera. There were a lot of really nice design features that drew me to it. Obviously the first one is the form factor. I really like the cube form factor for use on Miniquads. I find that it mounts really well and doesn't take up too much space. As well, the price. This was really cheap. It was only about $25, and the quality is acceptable for the price of that. I was just looking for a disposable camera, something I could beat up, and this would have worked out great. There's a lot of really nice design features in the case as well. The buttons are recessed in, so when you run a strap really tight around the outside, it doesn't interfere with the buttons. There is a cap on the rear that the micro SD is behind, so there's no chance of it coming out during a crash. And as well, the camera also claims to be waterproof without a case. Finally, I was also getting really good recording times out of this. I was getting well over an hour recording at 1080p. So it really is a shame that this camera didn't work out. However, it might not be all bad news. Just like when the SJ4000 came out, there were a lot of other manufacturers that got a hold of the mold and began producing cameras that look identical to this, with varying degrees of hardware inside. We ended up with a lot of really bad SJ4000 clones, but also a lot of really good ones. What could happen is another manufacturer might get their hands on the mold for this camera, and we'll end up seeing a bunch of new cameras come out that look identical to this, but with much better hardware inside. And who knows, maybe then we'll get some cheap, decent alternatives to the GoPro Session for our Miniquads. Here's hoping. Thanks for watching.